Hey guys, me and team here, and welcome to Let's Play of Starcraft. Well, it's more of just a match. I'm used to saying welcome to Let's Play, however. So, I had some requests to use a different race, new tactics, whatever. So, this is a 3-on-3 placement match. I think it's like my third or something. I don't know. Pretty sure. So, okay, you're going to see something a little different. Specifically Protoss. And, yeah. This is something I actually just felt like trying, so I did. And speed up. Yep. Now, I know it's not 6 pull, but it's similar. But I figured, this guy is not paying attention, so why not? Kind of funny hiding off in the shadows here. And I'm kind of curious what it looks like from his perspective anyway. But no worries, since this is a 3-on-3, I will have to do something after a early cheese rush. So there will be some application to strategy and some, telling my teammates what I'm doing. So I'll actually have to do something other than just cheesing, like, think a little bit rather than just spamming APM and hoping my opponent can't keep up with micro. And I have the full support of my teammates, and that makes me happy. So onward we go. And elsewhere, we got Terrans walling off their entrances. That's not really all that surprising. And yeah, right around this period of time, I'm hitting. So he doesn't even have any of his buildings up yet. And after timing it, this is right around the same speed as a 6 pull rush, this proxy rush. You can actually get your first zealot out at pretty much the exact same time as you would get your 6 lings out, but you get it out closer. So, you can get 3 zealots in about the same time as 6 zerglings, roughly. The caveat is that you can't be seen, or they can't figure out that you're doing it, or, you run into trouble. So now I have to deal with a Terran here. And this dude's got pretty good micro. I'd struggle a little bit to kill the Marines, which seem to be at least equal, if not faster than the Zealots. So, at first I was not taking things too seriously, but then I actually had to try to make sure that he wouldn't just out-micro me and kill my pylon and ruin my day. But, yeah, split up my forces, fight a couple things at a time, and prevent him from going for the pylons. And eventually he makes a mistake and loses his Marines. Obviously, this isn't like a platinum game, or, well, it might be platinum. It's definitely not a pro game or anything like that. So, yeah. I actually don't know where I'm placed yet. So, I have to transition to actually doing something. Red has been set up down here, and his team is going to try to protect him. But that's not going to work out, as you'll see shortly. This guy is behind on this macro. Wow, why does everyone hold on to so much gold all the time, or minerals? And I know I'm not perfect there either, but that's a lot for this early in the game to have like 800 minerals. You can spend that on something, even if it's just more supply, or setting up your gas, or moving workers from minerals to gas, something. Expand, build more units, whatever. Just, money that's not being spent is not doing anything for you. So right now, the macro demands aren't very high on me. Yeah, this is, well, because they don't have any spent money on their side, they don't have any units. And that'll be it for the Protoss. Oh, he's got Jack now. So that's the first part of the game in the books. But the Terrans will not just quit out. Excuse me, which is fairly a good thing for the Terrans, actually, because 2-on-3 is possible, especially since I am in the hole right now in terms of my resources. And I'm going to have to start, I'll start spamming out pylons so I can actually build units and try to get some gas going, so I'm not just zealots and I don't die to the first void ray, or, well, not void ray because my opponents are Terran, or whatever that shows up. Now, got our teammate here, running around with the observer, checking out the enemy Terran bases. They're a little heavy on Marines. It's fine, though. I like Marines a lot, too. Oh, man. Look at that. So, yeah, now they're doing a little bit better job of spending their money. Even tries to get an expansion down here. Actually, I'm not sure that's blocked. Although I don't recall it seeing it later in the match, so I'll have to find out what happened there from my teammates. And I decided just to sit on the Zelnaga tower for the time being. I mean, we sort of have map control, considering these guys are hiding in their base the whole time, so yeah, no one's really doing anything. And look at that. Blue's the only person trying to expand. I probably should have tried to expand, but I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive. So I'm building robotics facilities. Actually, I haven't used a whole lot of the Protoss, and it took me a little while to remember whether it was a starport or a robotics facility that allows you to warp in units. And ultimately, I just looked at what the units can be constructed for the buildings and put down the robotics facility. But wow, I'm definitely a bit of a rookie when it comes to using Protoss. Now, one thing yeah, this guy moved right into sensor range and just sat there. I was like, what's he doing? And yeah, he's just gonna sit there in purple sensor range. Just, hey, I'm here. Meanwhile, up here, Blue decides to take the opportunity to screw over my gateways that I used to proxy red out of the game. And I'm not even going to try to move in to defend this. I'm just going to be like, okay, just build some more units at home, set up, pull forces back, and try to survive the attack. Since apparently it's not a concerted effort on their part. Which happens a lot in 3-on-3. It's strange. People don't help each other out. So yeah. I pull my forces back, I'm building more forces, and in comes Medivacs, but really not enough. Especially since he doesn't even get a chance to siege his tanks. He just drops them right into Zealots, which, if he'd positioned himself a little bit better, this would have been a closer fight than this. And it's just, and he sweeps me, I guess thinking I might have cloaked or something, but I don't. I just beat him with Zealots and Stalkers. So I'm getting upgrades and warp prisms, which I don't think he saw somehow. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot here, which my teammate found out for me using an observer. So I'm actually relishing the opportunity to do a drop. I love drops in this game. They're one of my favorite things. Apparently there was a hole here too. I never saw that. This one I saw, but he built a missile turret before I could actually abuse it. So looks like light blue's going for his high yields again, in sensor range, of course. Makes sense. And oh yeah, I got Banshees harassing. And yeah, the Terran's gonna counter that very easily with a scanner sweep. So what can you do? But I don't think they were anticipating this. So, even though I kind of tanked myself early on by the proxy gateway, I'm back in it now. And I was mistaken. Yellow did expand. I apologize. Yellow hasn't been doing a whole lot until this point, but he has been massing some void rays. So there is that. And oh wow. Okay. Here I decide to drop on the Terran, and the Terran's got a whole lot of nothing. I'm like, oh, missile turret, that's not good. I do lose several of my warp prisms, but none of my units before I was able to drop them. So now I want to see what this does to the Terran, because the Terran's got completely out of position. I mean, his units are all over here. He runs his Marines back without his tanks. Probably not the best call. And I just didn't know what to hit here. I mean, he has so many buildings, not a lot of forces, and I decided to just go for the supply lock. It's pretty much the only thing he can't run away easily. It'll take a little while for him to replace it, and that should cause him trouble. No matter what he's doing elsewhere, he won't have the supplies for a little while, giving my team a window of opportunity. I didn't realize he was so underbuilt anyway, though. I mean, look, he's even not training units now. It's kind of impressive in a sense, considering his Marine micro against me earlier. You know, he had a very high APM, and now he's just running around without building any units at all. So I don't know what to say there. Meanwhile, up in this base, got the Protoss, Yellow moving out with his Void Rays. And without the Marines to help at all, this is going to be a complete wrecking of the expansion. Just no hope there at all. And in retrospect, going for the supply lock really didn't matter because he didn't have anything. But I guess it really didn't matter what I attacked regardless, because this he's done. Between the drop I used and then my allies' help from the outside, he just doesn't have any forces. So that leaves Blue by himself with 84, 89 supply. So he's a little bit stronger than me, but I have 2 teammates and he does not. And here he goes, another medevac drop. That didn't go over so well. Once again, it's just not going to cut it. If you're going to drop that kind of forces, it needs to be against either weaker opponents or you need more stuff. Even if you have the counters in place. Maybe a siege tank's going to counter a stalker, or a group of siege tanks will counter a group of stalkers. Oh, here we go. But one siege tank does not counter 6 stalkers. And so the Void Rays, wow. Took a little doing, but did eventually crush the expansion there. Really not a whole lot to answer for over here, so yeah, this is pretty much game now. I mean, Light Blue has no command center. My teammate picked it off. He's getting the rest of his buildings picked off. And I'm just going to camp in the middle again. I have finally started out an expansion. Purple has the high yields. I decided that I'm just going to go take the high yields too, because pretty soon Blue will build a missile turret here, killing my observer. And then I'll be like, okay, I cannot drop easily. So rather than trying, I just decided to play macro and go up to 200 supply, and then I would be able to overwhelm his defenses, no matter how much he has going on. And yeah, I guess Light Blue is trying to expand there. I don't know. We would have caught him eventually. One siege tank and a bunch of SCVs. Any of us could take this out at this point, though. So yeah, this is pretty much a good game. I'll go ahead and speed it up since there's not a whole lot going on. Purple takes out an expansion. Blue gets going up here. I get my probes onto the minerals. And yeah, that's when I lost my, he built his missile turret. And I was going to do a drop here with a lot of units. I was actually bringing the more warp prisms into play for just that purpose. But then, I lost my hole, so I'm like, okay, well, let's just take the high yield. And he tries to walk up here with this Vikings, and that'll be a no-go. Too many stalkers. So yeah, even he has no forces. I mean, we don't see him yet, but it really doesn't matter. A little bit later, I'm going to be scanner sweeps, and after seeing that, they pretty much just call it. Oh man. Yep, that'll be a good game. So there you go. Not a 6-pull rush, not Zerg, not a Reaper harass, and some actual tactics from me for a change. Hope you guys liked it. I'll see you in the next part.